One turns into two. We all set? All right. Well, happy summer, everybody. Happy summer. Feels like almost fall, but thank you for coming out on a nice evening. Welcome to the Tuesday, August 26, 2025 Rush Planning Board meeting. Marjorie, do you want to take roll? Thank you.
Member Weiss.
Here.
Deputy Chairman Ants.
Here.
Member Wolker.
Here.
Member Wisnowski.
Here.
And Chairperson.
Here. All right. Any comments on the minutes from June?
Nope.
Anybody else?
They look good.
Great. Can I have a motion to accept the minutes?
I'll move to accept the minutes as written. Second.
Member Weiss.
Aye.
Deputy Chairman Ants.
Aye.
Member Wolker.
Aye.
Member Wisnowski.
Aye.
And Chairperson Brown.
Aye. Very good. So, our first order of business is we are returning to the tabled public hearing for 2025-10P Horse Pole Barn Site Plan, Rush Scottsville Road, Tax Map 21202-111.1. Kevin, since we're already open, we don't have to.
I would always just read the meeting
Right.
notice just one more time.
Okay.
Because it's just formality, but.
Perfect. Thank you.
Notice is hereby given that pursuant to the provisions of the town of Rush and 274A and 274B of the town law, a public hearing will be held by the planning board of the town of Rush at the Rush Town Hall, 5977 East Henrietta Road, Rush, New York, on July 22nd, 2025 at 7 p.m. If you're all persons interested in the following applications. Application number 2025-10P by Larry Heininger for Luke Horse to build a pole barn on his property for his club's purposes. The parcel is located at Rush Scottsville Road, Rush, New York, with a tax parcel ID number of 212.02-1-1.1 and is zoned R30 residential.
Thank you. One thing I'll ask is anybody that's going to be making a comment, please make sure you come to the podium so we can speak into the microphone. Helps with recording, and if anybody's no Zoom. Okay, so it's just helps. Representative for Luke Horse. Hi, Larry, how are you?
Good evening. As Brennan said, it's good evening or good morning. I think engineers right now are pretty slammed with work. I overheard what you were saying.
Yes.
So we put some updates to the plans, and this is there's gonna be more bells and whistles than originally intended. I was down in Troy starting Friday to Sunday, and so some people didn't get the memo. But the next time you see this sheet, it's gonna be on our standard sheet with the title block running down the right side, like you've seen for the Sri Vidya Temple. That the sheet you got is what the surveyors like to use for their instrument surveys boundaries. I just like the information put together differently. We're also gonna be deleting contours going way out to the south that are create more white space on the drawing for details. When we're all done, there will be a polyline of the disturbed area for the road. I believe it's gonna be about 0.6 acres that will then get noted in the EAF. And also when I'm revising the EAF, I'll note that there is a stream way out back. In my letter from last month. We'll put a signature block for the water authority. Since we're now within 500 feet of the road, the meter will be inside the building. Not at the road, and we will not need a backflow preventer. We are going to put a heated restroom in the corner of the building, which would be the front corner or the northeast corner. And that way the meter will stay warm all winter long. It'll be super insulated. Dan Altamira, the architect for Trividia, did a similar pole barn by Ray Martin. Martin Buildings on the North Rose. He builds 6x6 posts on 4-foot center. So it's a wooden barn, not a metal tin can. Wood is friendly. And if there's a beautiful day in mid-December or late February where there's a dusting of snow, Luke will be able to come out and trail walk. We don't have a lot of snow on the ground, but we've got, pretty trees. So we're waiting on the gas records. That was something that Mark's Engineering requested. He requested us locating trees. Luke has indicated that he'll be brush hogging. I believe it's his cousin will be brush hogging right after Labor Day, and then we can locate trees there. Also, I'm going to be designing a small leach field with a 600-gallon tank. So we'll have water coming in and sewage going out. The soils are Ontario loam, which is an excellent perk. And Lakeland's makes both a 300 and a 600. I talked to Luke for the slight differential in dollars. And if you figure it out, 600 gallons, 1.6 gallons per flush, you're going to have over 300 flushes. So your separation will be excellent. Site distances are on there, but I'm going to add also the information for 50 miles per hour, even though it's 45. I noticed that they didn't get the 10 by 20 spaces for parking. I'll get that squared away. We'll label the walkway. We'll go through your town notes again, and anything that remotely applies to this project will be on there. And then I will have a erosion and sediment sequence and construction. And I plan a topsoil pile for the driveway and another one for the barn site. And then we'll note the post-construction stormwater. Add the silt fence detail, which is a standard DEC, and also the stabilized construction entrance, which is also a standard DEC. Also, I provided Marjorie, you have those pictures?
Did print them. I was sorting, or was it that?
The photographs. Okay.
Yes. Yep, I
So-
printed them out for everyone.
Right, if you notice what you're seeing, thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
Every
On the derivation.
driveway, I ran my tape, every driveway has a little bump out at these driveways. The neighbor's exactly the same, Bromore is exactly the same. So I ran my tape from standard edge of pavement to standard edge of pavement. And you can see the mark, and then there's a picture that this is a 35-foot wide road. And that's now been picked up on our plans Thursday. Surveyors finally got there Thursday, so you can turn that, you can read my tape, you'll see the 65 on the tape. That is an engineer's surveyor's tape. And then also you can see how with my ruler, the shoulder bumps out from a standard, say, 3-foot distance to something like 8'6".
Wait, can you wait let's wait just a minute and then we'll ask questions, okay? Let Larry finish, please, and then we'll do that. I promise. Yeah, you can.
We'll get that back to your seat.
So. That's the standard driveway on 251. I'll be sending that over to Monroe East to Dan McCusker, and currently Luke drives from his home on 15A south to the hamlet and then west on 251. So drives his tractor with flashers on 2 state highways. You know, the plan is obviously now to store that equipment in the barn and drive his personal vehicle, which is a lot safer. And get the equipment out the barn. So now that I've got the information to present to Monroe East, DOT Monroe East, I can get that done. But I do have SHPO and I do have fire marshal. I think Marjorie pushed that over to you.
Yes.
So the fire marshals are good. Okay,
Yeah, as long as it's 500 feet straight, he said we can make the driveway 12 feet wide. I said, well, we're 20, let's go with 16. That's a 20% savings in cost.
I saw those emails.
Okay, any questions?
So I guess at the top of my list, I had the DOT permit, so you still need to get that, is what I'm hearing you say.
I need the information. I can't just,
Right, I get it. I get it. All right. But you'll be applying for that permit.
next week.
Okay. And
I don't think, given what's on that plate right now, I don't think I'm gonna get it done before Friday.
okay.
We'll see.
And then, but you don't want to bug anybody at DOT before Labor Day anyways.
Is that good? Is that advice?
Yeah,
Is that official advice?
only
What
kidding.
what I hear you saying is, you could knock yourself silly and get it over there, but no one's gonna bother looking at it.
Probably. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I just got a response from DEC. Parking to go sideways. We got a parcel JD. I sent it down to Region 8 to come out and delineate back in June. And Farmington just told us last month that we've been at this for over a year and to pull our application. Wait until we had DEC sorted out for wetlands that are about 800 feet away from where we want to.
Yeah, we'll have to talk afterwards. I got a project too.
Yeah, so
It's messed up a lot of
so-
projects.
I was kind of doing a happy dance and my wife wondered why. And DEC said, send me some stuff and we'll set up a meeting down at Region 8.
Yeah, it's not,
But and she said, why don't you just re-forward him the email you sent him 2 months ago? I said, well, that might be a little too passive aggressive.
all right,
on.
so back on track, let's get back on track. Anyways, so I had that, I have a couple other questions. I guess I just wanted to confirm the fire marshal,
Yes.
we're good on that.
I do have the email with me if you'd like, if anyone else would like to
I-
see. it.
I saw it.
Yeah, I guess I
Okay.
didn't. Yeah, I think he said there wasn't a problem if it was less than the 500 feet, but then he got talking about the width of the,
Given the reduction in the length of driveway to a distance of less than 500 feet, section 511.2.2 turnarounds are no longer required. However, the remaining requirements for emergency vehicles still apply, dimension stability, so we'll be doing 8 inches of stone 2 lifts on a mirror 5. And he said driveways shall be 12 feet unobstructed. I'm gonna go with 16. And you have to support fire apparatus. So,
Okay.
you know, we've been down that road with the tree rigid green parking.
right. So I guess just confirmation what the driveway thickness is, but,
Yeah, we're gonna put that detail on the plan.
okay,
So there's no surface, it's just gonna be the stone.
Yeah, it'll probably be 4 or 5 inches of number 2 and 3, and then another 4 inches of number 1s and 2s, and
Oh.
maybe a dusting of 1A. Or something like
Okay.
that to chink it up.
DOT has a nice driveway detail.
In your standard details
Mhm.
online. They used to have big thick books, they got pilfered.
They're online, they're good, easy, but they got a nice one that shows driveway thicknesses.
Okay. I have a Sealy, great Sealy design manual.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Alright.
That's one of the really old people there.
All right, so now a couple minor things I noticed, but I think it sounds like you're gonna be adding things. I noticed there wasn't, that I saw an offset setback distance from the barn to the eastern property line.
Yeah, we'll put those on there.
Okay,
Yeah, that's 25-foot setback.
right, I know,
Yeah.
but I know you're over, but
Well,
we got,
yeah. We normally put a dashed line around the whole thing. And we're 111 feet.
this one to the front,
Yeah, I don't even know if you call that the front.
I know,
So in any event, it's 110 or more.
okay. And then, what I had, because at the time last month, there was gonna be a portage on, so I was gonna ask where that was gonna be located, but now I'm hearing there's gonna be a interior bathroom.
Right in here. Replacing the meter, so the meter will stay warm.
And I take it,
Yeah, septic system.
yeah,
And the septic system will be out here.
so you're gonna run that pipe all the way under a slab?
Yeah, and then we'll just put a clean out here and go out there and we put a tank here. I mean, I could go this way too. Just, I'll figure out where I wanna put my lines.
Okay,
Any idea how much, so is that considered disturbance? Or is the,
It'll be part of disturbance.
okay, so you don't, you're at 0.6 now, you expect it to be
I think-
0.8.
I don't think it's gonna be more than, it's still not gonna bump it up to an
I was
acre.
0.6 when I had a 20-foot wide road. Now I'm gonna have 16-foot.
Okay,
So
just checking, just asking,
very cognizant, let's not mess this up.
okay, got it.
All right, and so then, the other thing I know, the height of the building, we have that.
If your height is 35 feet. Your town code is 35 feet. Yes, it is, because we had to do that with the temple, we had to get a variance to the height of St. Joseph's.
How high are the walls of this gonna be?
Well,
Yeah.
12? So be way under that.
The walls, yeah, so the walls are gonna be 12 and it's 32, so it's 16 and a 1-on-4 plus 4, 12, 4, 16 feet to the
Right.
ridge. And the height of the building is the average between the ridge and the eaves, so it's nowhere's close.
I guess I'm just saying, don't we usually show it, that's all.
Well, I have a note, on them, because now you're going into the architecturals,
Okay,
but we'll have a note on the drawing is what the town code is.
okay, so you're saying it's, your general, no, all building construction is to be in compliance with the building code. Is,
Right.
and whatever, there's another one,
And Dan, Luke called Dan about a week ago and then called me and said, Dan said he can't get on this for about 4 to 6 weeks. And I said, well, I think any architect in town would give me the same answer.
Okay.
We send you the good ones.
and you already answered my question about the walkway,
Very concrete, regularly concrete.
and is there gonna be any lights on the building?
There'll be a light at the door and that could be motion activated. There's gonna be power to the building.
And then I just had a general note about concrete washout, but you're gonna have,
Put that detail on the drawing. Pick a spot.
so. You listed off some details that you were gonna show, what details are you gonna show?
Still fence. And structure access. Standard, details. Like I said, I was down in Troy Friday to Sunday. Got home. Things were wearing out.
Okay, and. Brennan, did you have,
I had written down 5 conditions, just if you do consider approval, I had some conditions you may or may not wish to include. I can read those out for you if you want, if you're interested in.
yeah,
So I said for one, I said applicant shall provide New York State DOT permit for new entrants prior to issuance of building permit. So I won't hold up the signature.
right,
Number 2, applicant shall respond and satisfy comments from the town engineer in letter from Marks Engineering to the applicant dated July 10th, 2025, prior to signature on the plans.
we have that one on there already.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
3, I had applicant shall obtain permit from Monroe County Department of Health for new septic system prior to issuing C of O. certificate of occupancy.
Mhm.
Number 4, applicant shall obtain permit from Monroe County Water Authority prior to issuance of certificate of occupancy. Number 5. Building use is for club organization only. At no point shall the building be used for a residence or overnight guests without additional approvals or permits from the town. Since we've added a bathroom to it, it could very easily be an overnight place.
Hmm. Some fair. Comments, questions?
No,
Those are
sounds like it's all
very
covered.
reasonable comments.
Carl?
The only thing I was thinking is, to me, it would make sense. I don't know how, if we normally would approve something without a final set of plans. I just, I could see closing the public hearing. And then, I don't know if we would necessarily put the resolution out, tonight. I personally would rather see a full set of plans prior to an approval, but if everyone else is comfortable with just doing it on conditions.
I think here's the backup. I would have those plans once Larry update them. They're not gonna get signed off and nor can they build until the engineer is reviewed them, and then I'll look at them one more time before I can sign.
What signature lines we have yours, Brendan? Fire marshal,
No, you have water authority on there.
I'm just gonna add fire marshal. To that.
Well,
Yeah.
that's a condition. So before a building permit is issued for the building, then they're gonna wanna see all those conditions met.
Yeah, I mean. You can go either way, but you're not signing off until he says everything is done.
I know, I guess, you know, like, I can go between what Carl's saying and what we're trying to accomplish. You know, I know we've worked on this quite a bit. I think this is overall probably 90% of what is needed, except there's still some things that aren't complete. So I'm gonna defer to the rest of the board for their input on it.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, I have to have an area for the MCW or DOH to stamp their approval.
Right.
Now that I'm.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of
now
little
that I'm
things that,
Dragging them in, it's,
there's a bunch of little things that need to be cleaned up. Right.
A good word.
I'm not insulted. I'm changing the whole title block, so.
Well, I have never done an approval on such a weak, one sheet set of plans without details, without anything. So if the rest of the board is okay with approving this based on conditions, and that you're the final reviewer of the plans, to make sure all those conditions, as well as
Well,
our engineer.
the town engineer is gonna do it.
Well, I'll ask the attorney, Kevin. Is there a standard or anything that says final plans should be presented for approval rather than conditions?
No, there's no standard, and it's kind of the board's discretion if you're comfortable approving plans as presented with conditions we impose, or if you want to see the final plans prior to issuance of your.
Yeah.
It's really, it depends on what the board wants to do.
It's just a regular.
I know, and I get it, and I think I'm just looking at that, how long this has gone on too. So, I mean, some of the details I'm looking at are just, it's a matter of standard details, plopping them on there. So I'm not gonna go into a review on standard details. Do I want to see them on?
Well, I should say that too.
Huh? Well,
Just plop on those standard details.
well,
Okay,
It's
then
not-
I'm okay with, if the rest of the board is okay with approving by conditions, then I'm okay with that.
because I think the bigger concept of where it is, I mean, last month when we came in, there was gonna be a wholesale change of location. And that I felt uncomfortable with. The building is staying where it's going, the driveway staying where it's going. We know that we're putting in water. We have the water and electric, so I feel confident that with the conditions, and again, Larry and Luke, the conditions are gonna be the driving factor on when you can actually begin.
I understand that.
The other thing I may add is you may want to ask the public if there's something that concerns them that is not shown on the plans or could be different on the
Right.
plans. That may be
I
a
was,
deciding factor to you guys want to hold over.
well, I think the next door neighbors want to ask some questions, so Larry, if you're
Right.
okay,
Yeah, I'm fine, and we did correct their property line, we show it going back 345 odd feet.
Okay.
So that was squared away.
and I think to some extent, I remember one of their concerns last time was with respect to a porta john being outdoors. So now it's an indoor facility. So that kind of takes away an issue of potential,
No more porta john.
right? So,
Yeah, I mean, I'll sit down, and just tell me what to do.
well, okay, let's hear some comments first and then we'll. You're allowed to speak now. I'm sorry. I just don't want, here's the thing that I'm trying to avoid for everybody is I'm trying to avoid having a lot of sidebar conversations as the main conversation is going on. And then that way, everybody that comes up can properly address whatever comments and questions they have, and we all hear it. So I think that's why.
Problem is that I can't hear too well, and I wasn't looking at your maps. But I think I have 4 rather trivial points,
Okay,
and don't throw me out, please.
I'm not, no, this is your time. You're,
The first point was that there was a question as to whether Route 251 was a state road or otherwise. I checked with Marjorie, and she confirmed that it is a New York State road. So a width of 33 feet, plus or minus 33 feet is the width of the road.
On each side of center lane.
Yeah, 66 feet.
for the right of way.
Yeah.
Yes,
The second point I have, and forgive me a little slow here, was the length of our property along the road. And I think we were talking about 150 feet. Well, I checked the map, and it in fact is 250 feet.
okay.
383 feet from the center of the highway. And I don't know if that will affect anything beside.
I think they adjusted the one, it'd be your westerly property line, because that was shown incorrectly last time. And they adjusted it to. Yeah.
The other point is, I understand the driveway. I really don't know where it's gonna be now. But if it's gonna be up against our property line, then we don't particularly wanna have a noise and noise. But the point I'd like to make there is, if you're gonna put a driveway in for a nature club, why are you gonna bulldoze down the woods that's there just for the drive? Could that be moved over and let the driveway, let the woods stay?
It's not it's not right on your property line. It's away from your property line. Larry, do you have a distance by any chance
The
from?
best way to describe it is where the existing driveway.
Yeah, it is where the existing driveway is.
How far?
And I was gonna tell him how far it is from his property line.
Oh, okay.
Well, back here towards where the turnaround is, it's like 90 feet from the property line. And up here, it's well over 120. It's 200 feet wide and the driveway's on the far edge of that.
So the wild animals will not be totally affected. Good. I'm a tree hugger. Thank you.
Yeah, it's
And
roughly 90 in the back and 150 or
Right,
so in the
the
front.
driveway is probably the closest point, about 100 feet from the property line. We're only clearing, you know, it is driveway.
Right.
And I expect the gas, and water definitely is gonna run on the other side, on the west side, because that's the building is. I'm assuming the weather will run in the same place. I think they built George French, but we'll do everything we can to keep this as far from the property line and, of course, leave as many. We're not gonna clear 100 feet for no good reason. This is gonna happen.
hear that. And I can't remember my fourth point, so I'll sit down.
Oh, no.
Thank
Well,
you.
if you do, let me know.
Okay,
All right. So did those answer your questions though?
I answered my concerns, yes, that's true. Oh, and the plan of the property.
Okay. Very good. Great. Perfect. Is there comments from anybody else? I think we went through the list of who we've gotten. We got the Conservation Board. We read that last time. Do I need to go through that again, Kevin? Okay, so we got the Conservation Board. It looks like we got an updated Monroe County, or is it the same one? Development.
State. I think it's state, yes.
Okay. And then, the fire marshals, we're good with that.
Yes.
And fire marshal signature.
Since I've been here, we've never had the fire marshal sign off, so I mean, I don't know if that's any your preference or. if
I was only suggesting it if he's easy to track down, but if he's the guy that doesn't, you can't find for 3 weeks.
No, he's always here.
There are some times where.
I mean, he's in the building most of the time that I'm here, so, it's fine either way. I just didn't know if that was something that.
It goes either way.
That's
That's
the other one we got.
The only reason I would say maybe you want it on here is just because it is a longer
Thank you.
driveway, and someone could. He would have his.
Or at least
reasons
record
why he-
Hmm.
A reference that has no issue.
I'll put
It
it on.
almost eliminate the need for the condition as well.
I'll put it on.
What, to put the fire marshal? on?
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, I've seen where they just write that name.
okay.
It's on one sign.
And then we got the SHPO letter. I'll read real quick. Dear Larry, they must know you, huh?
Yeah.
Thank you for requesting the comments of the Office Parks, Recreation and Historic Preservation. We have reviewed the project in accordance with New York State Historic Preservation Act of 1980. Well, that was a good year. Section 1409 of the New York Parks, Recreation and Historic Preservation Law. These comments are those of the OPRHP and relate only to historic cultural resources. They do not include potential environmental impacts to New York State parkland that may be involved in or near your project, which we do not have any. Based upon this review, it is the opinion of OPRHP that no properties, including archaeological and or historic resources listed in or eligible for the New York State and National Registers of Historic Places will be impacted by this project. If further correspondence is required regarding this project, please be sure to refer to the OPRHP project review number noted above. very good.
Yeah, all powers to it.
Very good.
Someday I'll tell you how extremely. And it was very reasonable. Of course, he's got to pass for the down. If I'd done it, would take three times as much time.
All right, so, Kevin, before we close, we should go through the conditions that we want.
Yes, so well, we can do that either before or after you close the public hearing, but, we may want to just do that before we close in case we want to add anything, but it wouldn't really matter.
So-
And then once we, close the public hearing.
Are we gonna close? What do we decide?
Yeah, you probably decide if you wanna, if you're going to, move forward with the conditional approval, or if you wanna see the site plan before you
So what, I take a
take a vote.
vote?
Democratic way to do it. but it's-
Okay, well then let's try and be democratic about it. Okay, and make a motion that we close the public hearing and put the resolutions or the conditions needed on the resolution.
So it'll be conditional.
It'd be a conditional approval.
I'll second that.
I'm confused. Okay,
We're voting on to make it with conditions, a conditional approval.
because before we were talking about whether or not we were gonna do that or not.
I think. So
No, with the resolution, you have conditions on there anyways.
So I think maybe the confusion is. Are you looking to, I guess I'm just gonna.
So are we approving this then based on those conditions, or are we having them coming back, just closing the hearing?
I'm looking to say, can I close the public hearing based on that we will have, if we do that we do a resolution with a conditional approval, a list of conditions. Am I wording it wrong?
I would just want to make sure I understood what we were doing.
Just close the public hearing.
Yeah,
And if they all vote, then they're saying that they're gonna move forward.
Okay,
let's read. So I take away my second on that one.
and I take away my motion.
All right, re-motion.
Motion made, close the public hearing.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll second that. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. So it goes back to my original question of, I wasn't sure before we close the public hearing whether to do the condition.
The public hearing portion is just to solicit feedback.
Okay.
So now that we've got all the feedback we're gonna get. We can close
Now
that,
we can
and
do
now we
con-
can determine whether or not you wanna go forward with the
There you go.
resolution tonight with the condition, or if you wanna see the site plan amended before you,
We can have a discussion.
then you can have a discussion.
We can have a discussion. Okay. So let's,
Have a discussion.
I think we've discussed a lot of it already.
We did.
So if you're, I'm sorry, man.
No, yep, go ahead.
So you would ask before whether you were gonna ask the members of the board if we wanted to go forward with approving it,
Right.
and based on what Larry is saying, and that they haven't designed the building yet, right?
The building is an architectural. I mean, right now it's a conceptual box, it's 48 by 32.
Yeah,
and
so it's,
on 4
so
foot
you don't
scale.
have that, you're not ready to pull a permit, so I guess where I sit is like you're asking, so we're like, some people, we have the house plans, they're ready to build, they want to get the thing in the ground and get it closed up before snow's flying. It doesn't sound like we're there in that position just yet, so to me, it's like, if we did put it off the month before we actually approved it, is it really gonna, other than making them come back again, which I understand not making them do that, but my feeling is if we're not holding up a project, would it, to me, to wait the final drawings back, it's 100%, and then it's pretty much a rubber stamp. That's all
That's
I'm
one
saying.
way of looking at it. The other way of looking at it is, are you getting tired of seeing our faces?
Never, Larry.
The only thing.
Yep.
I may respond to that. Maybe this is a very trivial building, very small. But if it was a larger building, he's gonna incur costs to do his architectural plans. And if he can't get through the planning board with an approval, those costs may not be worth being spent. Right? So that might be a discussion.
Yep. Either way.
That is a good point. That did occur to me. That if you don't have a town approval, then why go ahead with architectural plans?
Well, I think we're basically saying that there would be an approval if we had
Yeah,
all those conditions.
You don't have a,
Doesn't matter either.
right,
It's just thought I'd make the comment that there have been many projects though that we have based it on conditions
Mhm.
and approved. I'm just saying that.
Can go either
there
way.
have been many projects that I remember that we based it on
is
the
there
conditions, but
anything about the building that would sway your decision?
No, I'm not saying no, I'm just saying
No.
that
Sorry. Ken.
and most of the time.
I'm
when
fine
people
approving it.
come in to get building permits for sheds and all of that, they actually give that information
Mhm.
with their permit at that time. So, and John won't be issuing the permit, obviously, until all of the conditions are met, which is what he does now, so. It's just,
and there will be a final review by the engineer.
yes. Yes.
So-
Just what we've always done, so.
Someone made a condition or made a motion to approve this condition and then there was a second and then we voted.
Well, no, it was,
Well,
that was redacted. It was done in there. It
Right.
was just really a closed public hearing now.
But now, I'm saying now, that's.
Now, now we would have to make
Do
a
that.
motion.
Now, somebody-
Yes.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking. But
I'm okay either way, I just,
Okay,
that's,
you're kind of in the same line that I was thinking, so but I can, we have all the conditions that we need. I think you could even put a condition in there, it's gonna be a wooden pole barn. Rather, so that. sets
pole
it-
barn's a pole barn.
True.
I don't know, I mean, that condition's fine with me. I don't know whether legally the board can say.
Yeah, I don't think we
Got
can
it.
say,
Yeah.
I mean, he's gonna probably look,
I'm just quoting what Larry said.
Well, I'm steering you to say, this is the type of barn you wanna build, because I've messed with the metal ones and they just don't work. You know, if you wanna store.
So are you okay with?
Yeah,
putting a
I'm
condition
okay,
in?
yeah.
All right, I'm okay with that too. Steve?
Okay.
It's because I said.
okay,
Thanks, Marjorie. Just sway the whole.
let's go down through some conditions so that we have those ready. So right now we have our standard ones and then we do have in there the applicant shall meet the requirements of the town engineer as indicated, town engineer's letter dated July 10th, 2025. I think that's when you listed,
Yes.
correct? And then Kevin, then you start with the site plan shall be updated to reflect, but should we have line items?
I've got some other ones before that. I can do that. I basically put in there and just, and correct me if I've got any of these incorrect, that the driveway detail, including but not limited to the width, the material and the thickness shall be, so that'll be a part of the amendment to the site plan. The setback distances will be put on the head of the building. The location of the concrete washout, the silt fence and the construction access, and a signature block for the town fire marshal. Did I miss anything for the amendment to the site plan?
I think we want to show that there's going to be a light on the building. Don't we usually show that? I'm gonna,
I'll show what.
okay,
A light on the property
what
and lighting on the property.
on the building.
You're gonna approve by Department of Health. for the-
yeah, we're gonna go down, I think he's gonna go down through the other.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
that was,
List.
that was.
That's
So it's
just
the
the,
actual
the-
stuff.
The updates.
and the proposed septic.
Leach field.
We'll have that as part of the.
Electric service out there too, right?
An electric service. You have that running on there?
You'll be showing. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm sorry.
Service. Will be shown as well.
We need a
Location,
transfer.
location of electric service and
What's that?
location of the lighting itself.
300 feet. It's out this way.
The location of the proposed septic.
We do, it's on there.
That's.
And then I had, in addition to those amendments to the actual site plan itself, I had the applicant to obtain a New York State Department of DOT permit for the new entrance prior to issuance of the building permit. The applicant shall obtain a building permit for the County of Monroe Department of Health for a new septic system. The applicant shall obtain a permit from the Monroe County Water Authority. And the building is to be used solely for, the building is to be used solely for club purposes only, and not to be used as a residence or for overnight lodging without additional approvals and permits from the town.
What about parking spaces?
That was I think that was a comment on the engineers on the size, so,
Okay.
and Larry did, I noted it, but they were shown as 9 by 18 and they're supposed to be 10 by 20. So. Right. So I think if we
So
go,
were there any conditions that were missed from that list? I have your.
that's about all of them that I had. Can you think of anything?
If that's the case, I think, we should make sure we need to go through, the secret part 2 questions, just to determine if there's any environmental, impacts.
Okay, do I have,
Most of the, I provided those 2, but I can read the questions off, it's easier than we just answer. There's 11 categories and then it's the board determining whether there is no or small impact that may occur, moderate, large impact. Based on the proposed project.
is there 3 choices?
There's 2 choices.
Oh.
It's no or small impact may occur, or moderate to large impact may occur.
I'd say no.
Well, I gotta go through them all, this is procedurally, I gotta go through them to make sure that you've done your secret analysis.
Oh, okay.
So, and Brenda, throw something at me if I screw this up. Will the proposed act create a material conflict with an adopted land use plan or zoning regulations? So it's either no or a small impact may occur, or it's a moderate to a large
Okay.
impact.
I need to ask a question, because this is new to me.
Yep.
Okay. Or we're doing a new procedure here.
Well, because most of the actions we have are, like 2 actions that don't require this, but this is an unlisted action. So.
Now I'm with you.
Yeah,
Now I'm
that's the
with you.
distinction.
Okay.
Most of the actions we've done are
Type 2,
type 2,
correct.
and we don't need to worry about the.
And so since this-
determination of environmental significance.
One thing, what you just read off. This already had to go to the town board for the special permit. Right, the trail walking,
No, that was.
It was here.
in front of the
That was-
planning
Yeah.
board.
Yeah.
so like I'm saying, that question was probably already covered, not that you can't cover it again.
No,
I don't know,
We
you know,
went- No, I don't.
I don't
think
think we did.
the
Okay.
part
I
two.
don't remember,
All right.
I don't remember that.
See where I'm going. What you read off,
Because
small, no small impact. Okay, then the second thing you read off was,
Moderate to large, moderate to large.
no, I know that, but that's part of the first question. Second question on the secret form.
Yes, will the proposed action result in a change in the use or intensity of the use of land? Is that what you're?
Yes. And that's.
I see what Larry's saying. That pertains to the special permit that we did.
I gotcha.
We
Yes,
have-
okay.
we,
Require.
I think that you still have to, can answer the question.
Yeah.
we
I
can,
think that having a special use permit in place helps you. decide
Justify.
Less of it, yes,
Yes,
decide if it's less or more.
but I
Right.
think it still needs to be done as part of
Yes.
this.
so do you want us giving you answers
Yes.
on them? Okay, that's
So it's either gonna be.
Low.
It's either
No.
gonna be low to no.
low to
or
no,
Moderate to high.
low,
So for the first one that you're saying that it's.
yes,
That this action will create a material conflict with the adopted land use plan or zoning regulations.
no,
So
No, no.
will the proposed action result in a change in the use or intensity of use of land?
no,
Low. He's walking it now.
It doesn't have to be a no, it can just be a smaller moderate. Or so I'm saying, no to small.
that's what I'm
So-
saying. I guess my answer is no to small.
Proposed action impair the character or quality of the existing community.
No to small. What's that?
Will the proposed action have an impact on the environmental characteristics that cause the establishment of a critical environmental area?
No to small.
Will the proposed action result in an adverse change in the existing level of traffic or affect existing infrastructure for mass transit, biking, or walking?
It'd be like a no.
It's a low.
Solid no.
I like that one.
I like that, solid no.
The proposed action cause an increase in the use of energy and it fails to incorporate reasonably acceptable in energy conservation or renewable energy opportunities.
No,
Will the proposed action impact existing public-private water supplies, public-private water wastewater treatment?
no,
No.
Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of important historical, archaeological, architectural, or aesthetic resources?
no, because we got Shippo that already told us that it doesn't.
Will the proposed action result in adverse change to the natural resources, i.e. wetlands, water bodies, groundwater, air quality, flora?
No.
Will the proposed action result in an increase in the potential for erosion, flooding, or drainage problems?
No.
Finally, will the proposed action create a hazard to the environmental resources or to human health?
No,
Then I think that because because we didn't have any that were moderate to large, there is a negative declaration for this. There's no adverse environmental impact. That we had to do that just to be a few.
I
part
like
two,
that.
So you can assign part.
that's a
I
new
assumed
one.
that was gonna be the answer, but we still have to go through the process.
Okay, thank you. All right,
Typically the board would go,
there's a no impact.
yes.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Isn't there usually a resolution?
I've got that in. It's
Okay.
it's part of my.
Oh, it's part of your resolution.
That's why I wanted to do this, so I can read the resolution. and-
That's good.
Yeah,
I like it.
I was trying
Automatically
to,
bundling it.
I was trying to keep it as streamlined as
Automatically
possible.
bundled.
I didn't want to have the secret resolution, then the separate, it just gets to be too cumbersome, so I built it into the.
So that falls under, what you're telling me is the paragraph where you refer to Environmental Quality Review Act, Article 8 of the Environmental Conservation Law.
Yep, that it's an unlisted action, and then the second one says, the board can complete the analysis for parts 2 and 3 of the EAF of the project, that's just what we did.
Okay,
Part 2 is that, going through the list of questions, and then
Okay.
the determination that there's no, impact.
all right,
And then
very
the
good.
declaration is issued.
All right. So now that we did that, now I can make a motion
Make a
on,
motion based on proposed resolution, and then I can kind of fill in with the conditions.
I'll let you read the conditions on the end.
The only thing I just made in the third whereas paragraph, where it says a public hearing on the application was held on July 22nd, 2025.
Mhm.
I just added and continued on August 26th. I forgot.
Okay,
And the rest.
all right. So I'm gonna read through the site plan resolution. Whereas the planning board of the town of Rush, the planning board has examined an application 2025-10P for site plan approval submitted by Lou Force, the applicant, the owner of the real property located on Rush Scottsville Road, Rush, New York, tax map 21202-1-1.1 in a R30 residential district, the property, to permit a 30 by 50 pole barn to be erected on the property. And whereas the planning board has examined the application maps and other materials filed with the application, including part 1 of the environmental assessment form, the EAF, together with reports and comments from the town's professional staff, the public, and other interested and involved agencies associated with the application. And whereas a public hearing on the application was held on July 22nd, 2025, and continued on August 26, 2025. And notice was posted as required by law. And whereas all persons at the hearing desiring to speak on the matter were heard, all correspondence on the matter was read, and all comments and statements that were received during the public hearing and or at other duly held meetings of the planning board were considered by the planning board. And now therefore be it resolved that the planning board determines that this is an unlisted action under the New York State Environmental Quality Review Act, Article 8 of the Environmental Conservation Law, and the regulations adopted pursuant thereto to 6 NYCRR Part 17 as amended, collectively seeker. And it is further resolved that the planning board has considered the significance of the project by reviewing and examining the EAF, including completing the analysis for parts 2 and 3 of the EAF for the project, which EAF is hereby approved, adopted, and incorporated herein by reference. And it is further resolved that the planning board has considered the criteria set forth in 6 NYCRR Section 617.7C, thoroughly analyzing the identified areas of the relevant environmental concern, and hereby finds, for the reasons set forth in the completed EAF, that the project will result in no significant adverse environmental impacts requiring the preparation of an environmental impact statement, and thus issues a negative declaration for the project.
Yeah,
And
pause you right there.
I know, I saw you talking.
Yep. I'm gonna add one other whereas paragraph, it's good catch. Whereas, a special use permit, was granted on May 27th, 2025 by the planning.
Where do you want it? You're up.
I'm gonna add that right after we did the negative declaration. I'm adding that right there.
Okay,
And then I've said it, so you can go on to the next one.
okay, thank you.
Yep, sorry, I just. That on the record.
I'm just making a note, thank you. It is further resolved that upon consideration by the planning board of the factors set forth under section 120-69B of the town zoning law, the planning board grants final approval of the proposed site plan for the construction of a 30 by 50 pole barn on the property based on the following findings. No work is to commence until the applicant obtains a building permit from the town of Rush. The applicant must meet all applicable town building construction and fire prevention requirements. The applicant shall obtain all other necessary local, state, and federal permits and approvals required for the project. The permit shall meet all requirements of the town engineer as indicated in the town engineer's letter dated July 10th, 2025. The site plan shall be updated to reflect
But the driveway detail, including but not limited to the width, material, and thickness of the driveway, the setback distances, the height of the building, the location of the concrete washout, the location of the silt fence and construction access, signature block for the town fire marshal, the location of the proposed septic system, location of the electric service, and the location of the proposed lighting on the the applicant shall obtain a New York State Department of Transportation permit for a new entrance or an additional building permit. The applicant shall obtain a permit from the Monroe County Department of Health for a new septic system. Prior to the issuance of the certificate of occupancy, the applicant should obtain a permit from the Monroe County Water Authority prior to the issuance of the certificate of occupancy. And the building shall be used for pub purposes only and shall not be used as a residence or for overnight lodging without additional approval from the town. Anything that I've missed?
Not that I'm aware of.
That
Okay,
is your motion.
that is my motion. My motion to approve the resolution with the conditions as listed. Second,
I'll second it.
Member Boyce.
Aye.
Deputy Chairman Hess.
Aye.
Member Wong.
Hi,
Ms. Suski. Chairperson.
aye. There you go.
Get to work. Falls in your court.
Good
Yes.
luck, Luke. Thank you for, and thank you, Larry.
Try to get an area.
Oh. Go get a, thank you too, Brennan. Hmm, no, no,
No.
no. You're good. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, thank you all. Thank you. We've enjoyed your input. We're glad you're active participants of the community. All right, so let's, okay, so the only other thing on the agenda is just quick, it's a new business and everybody has it in their folder. It's about an informal review that we're gonna have next month about a proposal for a bed and breakfast at 1310 Honey Falls Road number 6. I think what we have is we don't have.
So I talked Mr. Manning into doing an informal review because it's not part of our current residential code in his area. So, bed and breakfasts are allowed in the mixed use Hampton code.
And
Yes.
restricted business.
And, okay, and so, because there is no such code, and I'm unsure as to if this has happened in the past, or have been, there's been a project, that has happened in the past. So I had him do an informal review. He was very anxious to get in to see the board, to talk to you about what he wants to do, why he's doing this. And it's more or less to try to supplement some of the income or some of their, well, try to get some income to help pay for the land because he's on like an acreage. So so he would like to come in and talk to the board, discuss if it's something that the board would be okay with.
So let me ask a question though. I mean, since there isn't anything in there, is it a variance or are you saying that it would fall under a special permit?
It was, well, originally, he came
not
to
allowed.
John, it's not either right now, but
Is it?
You could rezone it as commercial, all 69 acres, but why would you rezone a commercial development down in South Rush near the Chase Farm?
Not giving us all of the information because at first,
You
when he contacted John, he wanted to just do a short-term rental. And we said, you can't do that, but we did a long-term rental, like you rented out one of your rooms to, to a renter, you could do that. But then it turned into, well, maybe I will do a bed and breakfast to generate more income, and not do the long-term rental. So I think he was kind of struggling at first to figure out what he wanted to do. But yes, John has basically stated that there is no code that describes. You can
We're
do
working
this.
on that.
Yeah, but here's,
Right.
here's what I found, a restricted business, which is something adjacent between residential to a major commercial area. What's that? We don't,
Right.
but it's in our code. And the other place was in the Hamlet code. So so those are the only two places, otherwise it's not allowed. I suppose in commercial, but that's just a whole something that would never fly.
Well, let me,
But he also thinks that,
So
he just wants to kind of give you why he wants to
But I
do
don't-
this.
so.
but he really needs to talk to the town.
That's what I was,
board,
that's exactly
because
what I was
They're the
gonna
ones
say.
that are deciding or enhancing the,
And like we said, it's in
Well,
there.
I'm saying if doing
We're just
it-
not to the point where we're ready to approve
right.
a whole residential code right now because one person like, and listen, I can see it from my bedroom window. I don't care if it's there or not. If it's I don't care, but right now it's not in the code.
It's almost worth the
So-
conversation with them that if this is something that the board is contemplating on doing, you may want to hold off on coming
John
here.
has,
Till,
John has specified this, but he wants to do it.
Because we can't, our role is we can't change what's in the code.
Oh, but I can't
How do
deny
the
him.
special use permits work?
Usually because there's things that
I'm
are
just curious.
there's things that are listed in the code that say that that they could be approved under a spec,
They're allowed
The
uses,
difference- The
right.
difference between an area. yeah.
but they need a special permit for these.
That makes
Right.
sense.
He can apply for a.
There is nothing in our
separate
code that
change
allows
zoning
this
for
use
variance. The problem
in an
is with a
R30.
use variance, there's 5 factors that you have to meet. And it's not like an area variance where you
Right.
can meet some of them.
Right.
And kind of, we can weigh and get creative. You have to meet all
They say
5.
use variances are like
It's,
nearly.
they're all, because one of the things is, there's no permitted use, especially permitted use within this zoning code that I can use a property for and derive any sort of financial gain. You can't say that, you can't go through every single item that's permitted in, for use and say that property can't be used for that. It's virtually impossible.
Whatever happened with the solar he was gonna do there?
What happened there is what the solar company that he was working with had proposed. Didn't even come close to complying with our solar law. So it was shut down at that point.
Yeah, he's looking to supplement income, but I can't turn someone down.
But-
Well,
But we're not, but not.
I don't want them coming to the board and we're not gonna be able to do anything at all. I mean,
I think you should defer them to the town board and say, listen, this is where the planning board has nothing to say over this right now. Right now, it's coming, the town board is looking at revising the residential code. The way that it's structured right now, at some point, it may permit that, but it's months out from being done at this point.
Yeah.
So what does he have to do? Does he fill out something for?
Nothing.
I think you could just come in and at the 3-minute public comment, he could say, hey, listen, I have a property, I'm looking at doing this. I went to the planning board, they referred me to you guys, and we could, at that point, typically, we don't respond. To the public comment, but, you could let them know prior to that, hey, this is where the town board is at. They're reviewing the residential code, this is in that, it would be an allowed use in the current revision, but it's not something that's gonna be happening next month. We're a ways out from
And
it.
there's nothing that the planning board can do at this point
No.
unless and until. it
But
is a
but he
Oh,
full
could,
consent.
he could come and present in front of the town board and say, hey, listen, this is what I'm thinking. I understand you're looking at it and I want you to know that I would be someone interested if.
I,
Well,
I have a question.
Or
I have a
the
question.
codes, link, and he can read it.
Why is she
himself.
talking?
Okay.
We have. John's had
Maybe-
just like an extensive discussion, so.
So does anyone here know anyone or has been trying to buy a house lately?
No.
Unfortunately, I do residential, so I've got clients.
So there are people out there that are purposely buying houses for Airbnbs and bed and breakfast. That is their prime purpose of buying a house, if they can, because we got BlackRock and all these others trying to get rid of all the residential houses, take away single family. They're now, I don't know if you've been in that bidding process, but now the realtors have gone to a place of, they each get their 3%, but now it's, here's your bid. We bought $1,000 or an escalation part of the bid to a maximum bid, and it's only taking bids on one day. So we'll take all the bids right now, and then Tuesday we'll decide who's going to win that bid. And right now, the only people who are winning bids are cash only propositions. And so this is so you guys better start doing something quickly, because you're lagging in what needs to be done. So please put an effort into the town board to get something done now, because it has to be done.
It's part of the.
I'm lighting a match and lighting a fire under you to get it done. I don't care, get it done.
I care because residential is a huge thing. We're not gonna shove it through because of one small part of it.
No, and it's not just one person, but I'm telling you, it's gonna be widespread.
You're not telling me to shove it through fast when there's.
I'm not telling you to shove it through fast. I'm saying make an action and get it done.
They
It-
did.
But there's a lot of other things and it's not gonna be.
Well, I
3 years down the road.
started seeing that this was being talked about for 2 or 3 years.
With different code.
Talking about different
They've been
parts of the
talking about-
code. Right.
But we're fighting with the code committee. It's only been maybe a year and a half that we've gone through a bunch of stuff. We
Okay.
just started working on the
Okay.
residential stuff,
Alright.
but within the last
Just,
3-4 months. So we're
Oh,
working at it. Scott had a major surgery that was unexpected, so there was a month we missed there.
Well, we took this summer off. Speaking from the code committee,
Right, but Scott, the residential was pretty well done. We
right?
were just reviewing it, but Scott also had that emergency surgery where
Right.
he had to go in, so we had to skip a month because.
Oh,
he
for
couldn't
your,
make it.
because he was doing your
He
workshop
was-
with
He
you.
was staying at the workshop
Yeah.
stuff, so we missed July. And we had August and now we're Scott wants scheduled for September.
Alright.
So we're working at it. It's just,
thank you.
there's quite a bit to it and we're trying to figure out what's gonna work best for everyone.
What's that got to do with people buying houses?
Well,
The code.
They're trying to do it so that they can.
but right now it's not
into
allowed. They're not gonna buy a house.
I'm saying it's an issue.
They're making, they wanna do short-term leasing and it's not.
Well, I understand that.
No, it's not allowed.
It's not allowed.
It's not allowed. So people aren't buying here.
If they did, they're gonna be disappointed.
Yeah.
They have to come in for a special permit.
Well, they know they
They
can't.
They can't,
That's what we just talked about.
It's not, right.
They're stuck with the same thing as this individual, they didn't have to be a change to the zoning.
Sure, why they'd want to be able to here.
Well,
There's not place so they can go get a grocery. They can't go get anything. Why do they want to be here? Yeah, Again,
Like there's a lot to see in our.
well, here's the falls.
That are almost ready to blow out.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, do I have to do with that with to do an amendment to the park?
Amendment to their site plan. We should have, we should be, we should be allowed, we should have feedback if the public has.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's Rich, Mr. Manning, I will contact him and have him come before the town board, and then we will have Anna come back in September. Do you think they will be ready? I mean, they have the map.
Well, the only amendment they're doing is on their parking.
Right, and they have the map
Right.
updated.
I mean, I
but-
guess I would ask,
All we're looking to do is amend the condition. But we should that.
right. So it's for everybody, one of our conditions was trying to make a one-way in, one-way out with the Canis parking. The resident next door is not allowing that. Well,
Well, so the tenant, it
So-
is not working.
The new owner, right? The new
Yeah.
owner, the new-
so Marjorie, I would just ask them, I mean, they've already done the plan. I mean, I think we would be ready to have them at the next meeting, but I would just make sure that they're ready. Cause I'm sure she'll want to have her represent
Yeah.
with her. So. All right, can I have a motion to adjourn the building?
Make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll second that.
Member Voice.
Aye.
Deputy Chairman Ants.
Aye.
Chairperson.
Aye. You.
Are we still online?